Good morning, everybody. Cowboy here. It is 6:30 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 8:30 a.m. EST, and we just had the CPI data drop, and it looks like it's dollar week news. What does that mean? Dollar week, dollar WEAK. It means that the inflation must have come in. What's the word? Soft, right? Cool. Coming cool means that whatever's been going on, all the interest rate cuts, all that stuff supposedly has been making a difference and slowing down inflation. What do you think, V the Guerilla? What do you think, sir?
All I heard was you're something about being soft and cold.
That's perfect. Yeah, it's just like the average politician's bedroom.
Soft and cold.
That's right.
Yeah. Coming up
Yeah.
very flaccid.
Well, we can't always trust the numbers on these things, but
What were you guys talking about? Like real quick.
the inflation data just came out.
Sure. What
So,
was
and
it?
I'm not even, I don't know. I'm looking at the charts. I'm not even looking at the data itself, but I'm watching
Mhm.
how everything is rising up against the dollar. And of course, we know being during an election year, it's almost predictable that the numbers would be massaged to push everything up in the
Sure.
markets, right?
Yep.
And I did predict this yesterday, although I don't bet on such things. I don't actually trade that because it's completely unpredictable. It goes against my model. I need my model to everything I trade has to have a statistical degree of probability, and that just is not gambling on what's going to happen with the CPI. It doesn't fit into that model. But if you look on here, everything came in a little cool, right? So year over year, slightly below expectations, 3%. When it was expected at 3.1%, month over month, minus 1%. So actually, there is a bit of deflation month over month, according to the numbers. Now, we're not saying, this is really how it went. We're just saying what the numbers say. And then month over month, core CPI, which I believe excludes, gas and rent. So, yeah, food and energy. That is going to be a little less than expected. Still slightly inflationary at 0.1% versus the expected 0.2. So what's going to happen in the market as I flip over to that screen is you're going to see how and this is on the 30-minute chart. So this is actually a notable difference in price here. It's just 0.89, 0.85. So I don't know, almost a 0.5% up. And that's a big, big number when it comes to currencies. When you're talking about over a 5-minute, 3-minute span to rise about 0.4%, that's a big deal. So that, it's not like you're talking, this is a $7 trillion a day market. When you see that kind of a change in what's going on, that's a big deal. And that's the euro versus the dollar, which is kind of a pretty good indicator. If you want to really look at dollar strength compared to other currencies, you would look at the Dixie, and you'll see that it went from $1.486 to $1.443. So that's like roughly, and it's still going down, but that's like 0.38%, and that's big. That's notable to happen just in a 3-minute span. So we'll see. I mean, this could continue throughout the next few hours and continue in this direction. And this is going to affect markets that have nothing to do with this. Well, not nothing, but this is going to affect non-currency markets like the SP 500. I predicted that it would push it up. And let's see if that prediction was correct. No, it's going down. Look at that. That is not typical. It could be that yesterday's move was just too strong and price has to come back down for that. Let me roll over to my other chart for that, because I did have my numbers picked out. Gold itself is continuing upward. That is also counter to what you would expect with that. Of course, I'm on a higher time frame. It's doing what I said it would do. Gold is moving in the way that we talked about it moving yesterday. That could just be that gold is too powerful to be stopped in that manner. Usually when things become deflationary, gold's not going to, do as well. In this case, it did great. It really moved up hard against the dollar. So it could just be simply that the dollar got weak and gold didn't, and that would be more of a mechanical move. But I did expect gold to continue up along this path. And this could also be, by the way, money that was on the sidelines. And because the inflation data did not come out terribly different than expected, it could just be money goes back into the market and the market continues along what it was going to do anyway. That might be why we're seeing, for example, with the ES1, aka the SP 500, why it's crawling down instead of heading up on that. It could just be like, okay, well, we know the numbers now, so let's get back in the market, and the market continues along that route. I mean, you do have a little pop up. If you look at the 5-minute chart, it popped up a little bit. So it could just be the SP 500 is too large of a market to give a crap about, such a small change in the inflation. That can also be the case. So technically, it is moving in the direction that it should move based on the news. It's just not a very big move. And you know what? I mean, compared to what it's done over the last, say, what is this, Wednesday at 1400? So the last day, it actually is moving up in a significant manner. It's just the ASP 500, it had a great move, a good pop up. As a matter of fact, I talked about this yesterday. During the beginning of the show yesterday, the SP 500 was all the way down here, and I did call this move up just based on technical matters, not on anything necessarily to do with the market itself. Just the charts were calling for this move up yesterday. And I even had in our private group set up a couple of trades based on the SP 500 going all the way up to a certain number. I don't want to say that number is right. There's a number towards the top, the SP 500, that should go in within, I'd say, the summer. So by the end of Q3, there's a pretty high number that the SP 500 could reach. And again, we're in an election year, so I do expect the markets to be held up. The incumbents, and I say incumbents with plural because I think the person running things is not really the one running things. So the multiple people who are making the decisions and tell the guy in charge what to do, who the guy in charge might not be able to remember how to tie his shoes. Those people need the market to stay high, right? Election's coming, and most people vote with their wallets. Economics is the primary reason that most people vote, right? In the absence of, any other major issue. And at this point, although there are major issues, the population just has no idea what's going on, and all they care about is, number go up. So that's the look right now. That is the look. And this move up, I did call it out to private Algo Factory members. We don't do signals. We don't say, hey, buy this. Like, that's not how we roll at Algo Factory. But I will talk about some trade ideas. I'll talk about ideas that I have for trades, and you all can do your own research, and that's how that works. Via the Guerilla, sir, do you have any charts that you want to see in the in this format before we move over to the private group?
Well, no. I mean, I was going to ask you to do S&P 500, but you're already on it. The private group stuff, we'll talk about gold, we'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about any of the cryptos, what's happening in the crypto market, what's happening in the metals market, oil. These are all some key factors that we all need to pay attention to and start looking at. Things are moving. Things are getting very interesting out there, folks.
Yeah, we got March saying hello. March is an OG
March.
buddy of mine, dude. March and I met like in LA in 2017. March is actually kind of a name in the industry. And then Daniel's one of my 10% buddies. He's part of the Rich Cooper group. So glad to have you here watching us. Yeah, Daniel's a good guy. So let's move on. Let's head out and go to private group, and that'll be that.
Yep, absolutely. Follow us over, guys. Listen, the thing with us versus everybody else is this, okay? We not only teach you how to trade, but we show you how to build the algorithms that trade on your behalf 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's number one. And then secondly, you're going to get real industry insights of where the market is, where it's going to go, months and even years before it even happens. So you are better positioned to play the game. And it is a game. And if you play it right, you will profit mightily. So with that being said,
I got to comment. Sorry, I got to comment on that. Now, before V and I were working together, this is going back. I was a client of yours. Remember back in 2017, right?
Yes, you're not only a partner, you're also a client.
Yeah, for sure. No, going back to 2017 with.
This is when you and I ran the hair club for men.
That's right, dude. Except it wasn't hair on your head. We wanted hair on our back. So we would,
on our backs. So for all the men that wanted hair on their backs, we would,
Holy crap. Wait a minute. Before we get too far, look what happened to SP 500.
Bang.
Dude, that just happened. I don't know why it happened. But wow, dude. What's this? I guess a delayed reaction to the data from what do you call it? From the inflation. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason for this. And this is futures. Like the New York market isn't even open yet, which I bet you this is why we didn't see such a strong move, because this is pre-market, as far as I know, right? Because the market isn't open for another 49 minutes. This is probably why this is a delayed reaction. All right, interesting. going to have to figure out what happened. This is going to be a news event. Almost guarantee you this is a news event of some kind. We just don't know what it is yet. But yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you, V, because you're right about to kick us off in a private group. But what I wanted to say is that as a client of V the Guerrillas, going back to when I started in crypto, which is in 2017, early 2017, and then moving into working with V in numerous ways going through late 2017 all the way until today, we've had numerous businesses, like 2 or 3 that actually made some money. And we had a couple that broke even, right? We're serial entrepreneurs. Long story short, V is very accurate over time because I've been following V this long. And most of your guys that make predictions, you're going to be happy if they're accurate more than half the time. That's legit. If somebody's accurate more than half the time, they are a winning trader. And V is accurate, in my estimation, at least 80% accurate, meaning like 80% on target 80% of the time. And I know that doesn't sound that great, but that's God mode. Like if you can be that accurate with your predictions over time, it's extremely rare. So what happens on Thursdays is V the Guerrilla is going to come in, and most Thursdays, summertime's really, really slow. It's the market. People take a break. You got your traders, they're on vacation. There's not a lot going on. But V comes in most months on Thursdays, 3 to 4 Thursdays a month, most months outside of the summertime. He comes in with what's called drips. And, I don't know if y'all know this, V the Guerrilla does these really large deals with Bitcoin and gold, like large. Like, I don't want to say how large because, first of all, you probably wouldn't believe it if I said it. And second of all, it's probably a little bit private. But let's just say you need a large amount of gold or Bitcoin. You talk to V the Guerrilla. We can hook you up. Just give me a jingle. Real easy to get you connected. But when you do deals that big, right? When you do deals that large, you're dealing with a higher level of person. You're dealing with people who have a lot of influence, which means they're going to have a lot of good information. And so that information is stuff that we get privately most Thursdays in our drips session, right? So come on in, Algo Factory. You can get that data as well as learning how to build the algos that at some point you can actually have them automated, trading for you when you're not even at the computer. So commercial done. V the Guerrilla, sir. Please get us out of here.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Join us and listen. Next few years, the chaos begins, and it's actually going to be kicking off this fall. So be positioned to profit from it. The Chinese word for chaos and opportunity is the same word. So join us and be a part of it. Take it away, Cowboy.
Join us or die.